There's my caller. All right, let's get set up here. It is Tuesday, and we are live. All right, is that right? I'm checking to make sure when we are live here. I know there's about an 8-second delay. There we are. All right. Hello, we are about 1 minute early. I'm so excited for today and for you all. I know people are just coming on board, so I'm going to open up the chat box here. Chat. Hey, John Lewink. Oh, John Lewinkus. John, buddy. You and I are going to talk today, buddy. So I've got, look at this, John. Does that look familiar? Huh? Yeah, I got your portfolio package here. After this call, after the Masterclass, I've got a VIP call. Then I am diving into these properties, all of these Houston properties. Very interested in this portfolio. Let's see what we can put together. I'm going to jump on this portfolio of deals. I've got another one for somebody else here. But yeah, so I'm going to look at this today, John. Dive heavy into it, and then I'll get with you. And we'll put a plan together for this seller. Very excited for sure. So, yeah, great stuff there. Let's see here. Hey, Sharon. Hey, didn't I just talk to you, Sharon? Hey, Christina, what is going on? I'm going to lower the volume on that. All right, it is 12 o'clock here. Letting people jump on here. And Joe Seski will be joining us here in just a minute or so. He had some students he was working with, some dream partners he was working with. And so he'll be on here in just a second. In the meantime, let's, what do you say we go ahead and kick off some things here as people jump on. And you know what, actually, while we're waiting here, letting people jump on board. We've got some of my dream partners on here. John Lewinkus, who is on the group with us live right now. Actually, you know what, John? I should have you on one of the coaches' corners. So every, as you know, John, every day this week at 6 p.m. Central Time, here in the live Facebook group, we have a coaches' corner. Tonight, we have at 6 p.m., we have two dream partners. We have Esther coming on board and Jeff Davis, so that they'll talk about what they've done for marketing, what that actually looks like, not from the educator standpoint, but from the implementer standpoint, the student, the dream partner. What does that look like talking to the seller? What does that look like doing the marketing? And you can ask the dream partners any questions you have. John Lewinkus, who's a dream partner, sent us this portfolio for $2.5 million. And I'll be diving into this today to see how we can help this seller, this investor. John, I should have you on one of the coaches' corners this week. But John, I'll tell you what, while we're writing, who is it, Andre? Oh, hey, Andre. Yeah, the VIP. Yeah, you can go to leaseoptionvip.com. leaseoptionvip.com. What happens to recap is every day at noon Central we have this. We have the masterclass here. Then at 1, there's Joe. Then at 1 p.m. Or right after, following this, we go directly into the VIP Q&A. And it's not just Q&A, although a lot of it's Q&A, answering all your questions. You may have deals that you are working on. You bring that to the VIP room. It's a Zoom room that you have a special link for. And I'll look at those deals that you have, those leads you have, help you work those leads. And there's a lot of free stuff VIPs get. You get lifetime access to all the recordings here, all the recordings from the VIP room, all the recordings from the coach's corner. You get all the downloads that we mentioned on here, the free books that I gave away yesterday. You get free access to those for a lifetime, access to all the downloads that we post within the Facebook group as well. So you get a lot of stuff in the VIP room, and it does require a large investment, a large commitment on your part of $47. So there you go. It's a big commitment, but it's a lot of stuff for $47. That does not definitely doesn't make me wealthy by any means. It basically just pays for helps pay for admin to do all their work for recording and downloading and putting stuff where it needs to go. But yeah, so who's this in it? Andre. Yeah, so it is still open. Okay, yeah. So go to leaseoptionvip.com, leaseoptionvip.com. Actually, I'll put that in the chat box here. leaseoptionvip.com. And there we go. Lease option VIP. Hey, Kevin, what's up? Kevin's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I just talked to a guy 30 minutes ago from Minnesota. So we looked at a property up there. Well, online, virtually. So just talked to a guy from Minnesota. Melanie's on the line. Melanie's mostly healthy, getting back to health. What's up, Joe Seske?
Hey, what's up, John?
Well, I'm incredibly excited. I'm incredibly happy. And there's one moment of sadness that has happened in the last 10 minutes that I'll share with you. I was able to secure reservations at a restaurant in Sedona, Arizona for myself and Karina and Tim Mai and Francis and Gene Garino and his wife for September 4th. This is a restaurant. It's the best restaurant I've ever been to in my life. They literally have a 2-month waiting period before you can even get in there. What? I was able to secure it by pulling my celebrity status. And the lady was so nice. She was so excited to talk to me.
Celebrity status. Yeah.
She sent me an email saying how I made her day, but listen to this, Joe. This is where the table takes a horrible turn. She said, "Hey, Joey, you made my day today."
Oh,
I could feel my heart just sink. I was like, no, I'm John.
I have a little bit of pull there, and I made the reservation. Man, your jokes are on point today, John. I'll give you that.
Yeah, all right. No, I am excited, man. I am so excited.
Me too.
Because hey, Matt's on the line here. Morris from New York. Becky from Houston, H-Town in the house. Joey, I would love Joey. Now I'm calling you Joey. Joe, I would love to get like 30 people in Houston. We could crush Houston.
I know.
Crush it. Becky, we need you on board, girl. We need you on board. So, so I'm super excited because, first of all, because I got reservations at a place that are so, hey, what's up, Guapa? Come here, Guapa. We just started. Here comes the speaker. I'm going to introduce everybody to my fiance. All you can see is Joe. This is my fiance. We're getting married August 21st, everybody. So, anyway, so got a reservation someplace that's so hard to get to, and I'm so stoked because I've never been this buried in leads before from our dream partners. I've been doing this since 2003. Started training in 2008-ish. And I've been working with, students, ever since then. And, you've been working with me for a few years, Joe. Have you ever seen a time where we've had more leads coming in, more seller price sheets, more contracts?
Not in the past few years, for sure.
I've never seen this before.
And I haven't had this much activity since 2012. Now, I didn't cash in on the 2008 crash, but I mean, it lasted, the effects of that lasted for a few years after that. And that was fun. So yeah. It feels familiar to that. I'm not saying anything, but it seems like that's where we're at or getting to.
So can you imagine that here we are in a hot market, and we have so many leads that literally I will spend no less than 3 hours a day myself, not including you and David, going through these leads that are very good, solid leads, like this package deal that John has, these other leads that I just got today of 5 very, very solid leads that our dream partners are working using our marketing methods, which, by the way, guys, we're going to get into marketing later on in this week. But yeah, I've never seen anything like this. This is insane. This is insane. How many leads and deals our dream partners are getting. So super excited. So let's do this because I want to get going here. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get rolling here. I do want to say a quick hello to, we got Thomas Brady from Jupiter, Florida. Pat's on the line, Joe. Pat,
Okay.
Man, I'm so excited for Pat. Pat came to the. You know what? I think I'm gonna have Pat come on one of the coaches' corners this week. Which, by the way, I don't know if you can make tonight's coaches' corner or not. I'm gonna have Esther on. I'm gonna have Jeff Davis on. But what's really exciting is I've got a new branding for coaches' corner. It's gonna be on this panel behind me, and I know how you like to talk smack about my. Could you even hear me?
Yeah, no, I don't know. My headset keeps turning off. Yeah, you're good. Sorry.
Anyway, so I had a whole new branding made for Coach's Corner. So I can't wait for you to see that, for you to critique the artwork or the purple or the this or the that, blah, blah, blah. So you get to see it tonight. Are you going to be on tonight, 6 p.m. Coach's Corner?
I'm going to try. I have so much work to do, but I will do my best. I want to see the new logo.
All right, so we're going to go on 6 o'clock tonight, p.m. Central Time, right here in Facebook Live. Coach's Corner, you get to hear from a couple of dream partners and hear about, just their not just their successes, but okay, well, what they do, how they do the marketing, how they talk to the sellers, how those conversations go. So you all get to see behind the scenes of how this actually works. We got Ty Sherwood. Remember Ty he was just at the last. Ty Sherwood was at the last boot camp in Southlake. Sherwood. Dave Ricardo Silva from Corpus Christi. I used to go deep sea fishing down in Corpus. And Morse on here. Rogelio, San Antonio. We got San Antonio. You have some memories from San Antonio, don't you, Joe?
I've since repressed them, John.
Joe's gone to counseling for the
counseling. Yeah. You're really undoing months of counseling, John. Thank you.
Yeah. Tommy Dodd is here. Who else is here? Andy from King of Lease. Oh, congrats. Okay. Oh, Andy's from Houston. He's with Landon's group.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, good luck, Andy. You know what, Andy? If you're working with Landon, you were looking for a job and you found that one. So that's all I got to say. No. All right. So excited here. Let's do a quick recap from yesterday, and we're going to get into the 3 types of lease options today, and then we're going to get into lease option assignments. So I'm going to move some things around here. I'm going to share my screen, or actually I've got to click 3 buttons here. I've got to do screen share, and I'm going to go here and share this, and it'll take just a second here. I'm going to pop that open right there. And we got about 8-second delay. There we go. All right. So quick housekeeping for everybody here. Recordings. Guys, write this down if you have to. It never fails, Joe. And I get it. You're part of this Facebook group, and there's a lot of things going on within this Facebook group. We have people posting their homework, which I absolutely love. Did you see that, Joe? We've got people posting their cash goals and how many deals they're going to have to do to hit their cash goals. We have recording. Oh, here is a seller literally calling me right now. Let me do this. Hey, Jim.
John, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm actually on a live Facebook right now teaching lease options. So everybody, there's about 480 people watching right now. So Jim, if you want to say hello to everybody, and then let me call you back the set. Can I call you on this number?
Absolutely.
All right. I'll call. I've got a couple of trainings, and I'll call you back about your property. Okay.
Thanks so much, John.
All right. Bye-bye. That was actually a seller.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, guess how I got that seller, Joe?
I have no idea.
Of course you have no idea. I haven't told you yet. I got that. Listen to this, guys. Don't overthink the marketing. When we get into marketing, I had someone send me a text message. I had an investor send me a text message that said, hey, are you something about selling my house? Right? Because I was marketing one of my houses. You get them, Joe, right? People are scraping. They send you a text message. Hey, you want to sell your house for cash? Or something like that. I got a text from a wholesaler. Hey, you want to sell your house for cash? And I said, and I don't remember what my response was, but I said, Well, let's talk. Do you have leads you throw away? Do you ever have leads you throw away as a wholesaler?
Okay.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
They responded back, I'm not sure. Let me ask my boss or something, right?
Yeah.
And so that started a conversation. And then I met this wholesaler. We went and had lunch or breakfast. And he sent me this seller lead that he had that he couldn't do anything with. And so he's going to be sending me a lot more leads. Do you know that the cost of that marketing was zero?
Wow.
Zero. And so
you didn't even buy a breakfast?
I did. I bought him breakfast. I did buy him breakfast.
See,
I did. Yeah. So it cost him about $8.50. So I now got to make a note here to call seller Jim. So that is a seller. He's actually an investor that the wholesaler couldn't help. Anyway, so you got to hear a live seller there, everybody. I'm going to call him back today. So anyway, back to the recordings. People always want to know where are the recordings, and I get it. Right there, right in front of you, that recordings. Go to this Facebook group up at Lease Option Masterclass. And I point out Lease Option Masterclass because we have people watching us on YouTube. And they were asking, what group is this? Lease Option Masterclass is the Facebook group. Then from there, you go to the top of the navigation field and you go across the top. And on the right, you'll see where it says more. Click on that. There's a drop down. Click on media and then go to videos. That's where all the recordings are going. Okay. That's where all the recordings. So write that down. Now you know where all the recordings are going. Now the recordings get up there. It may be the very end of the day or it may be the next day, but that's where they're going. Okay. So go to Lease Option Masterclass, go over to the more on the navigation page, media, and then videos. Again, on all the files and the guides. So you can go to guide or files. It's that same navigation field. You go to more, you'll drop down, look under guide or look under files, and you'll see like the downloads that we have, such as the free ebook, the ebooks that I gave away yesterday, and including any documents that we put there. That's where you're going to find them. Okay, go across. More, look under guide or files, and you'll see them there. Now, again, as VIP peeps, you get lifetime access to all the recordings, the ones from yesterday. We record the VIP Q&A every day that we have every day. We record all the Coach's Corner. You get lifetime access to all of those to go back and watch at your convenience. You have lifetime access to all the downloads and free giveaways that we have. And we have some free gifts. Yesterday on the VIP call, I was so excited. We had so many things going on. I didn't give away a gift, Joe. I forgot to. That will not happen again today. Today I'm giving away 2 gifts to the people that make it to the VIP room today immediately following this training. So two gifts today. So there again, I'm taking notes. I got to make a note to myself. 2 gifts. So all of you all coming to the VIP room today, remind me, blow me up and say, John, I need 2 gifts. 2 gifts. I'm going to give them away. Again, you go to leaseoptionvip.com. That link does come down tomorrow. So you have today to sign up. It's a whopping $47. Lease Option VIP. I'm taking that link down tomorrow morning. So you have today to sign up. Tonight, again, Coach's Corner, 6 p.m. Central, right here in this Facebook group. We have 2 people that we are highlighting. We are highlighting Esther Kuhn, who just closed a deal, and Jeff Davis, who just got 2 or 3 houses under contract, and he has a lot more leads in the fire, and he's got a really good system that he uses. So we'll talk about that. Believe me, you want to be on tonight's Coach's Corner. Yesterday, I gave away 2 free gifts. Robert Allen's the 4 Maps of Happy, Successful People. Him and his son actually wrote that. And the challenge. I didn't really talk about this yesterday, but I uploaded it into the Facebook group. Guys, you want to download that. The challenge is Robert Allen took on a challenge years ago, back in the 80s, I guess it was, or maybe early 90s, where he said he could go to an unemployment line and within 90 days, take someone from the unemployment line and get them a check for $5,000. And he did it. This book is the roadmap to what he did. Now, Robert, I saw Robert about 3 weeks ago in Utah, in Provo. He said this was, without a doubt, this book, The Challenge, was without a doubt the most disappointing book he's ever written, meaning from sales perspective. He said everything about it was, he said it was definitely not the best marketing move he's ever made. But he took this, The Challenge, what was from an author's point of view, from a sales point of view, was not good, and turned into a very nice $25 million business. But again, that because he said, who in an employment line has 90 days to wait, or who's, The Challenge. He said nobody goes to a bookstore that needs a job and says, you know what I need? I need something challenging. He said, I hadn't really thought that one through, but it's a great, great book. But you have it for free. They are in the Facebook group. All right, let's get started, guys. Day 2. Did everybody do their homework yesterday? I know we had people posting in the Facebook group of their homework, which I love. That gets me so excited to see people saying, hey, I want to make $24,000 a month. In order to make $24,000 a month, I've got to do 2 deals a month. To do 2 deals a month, I've got to talk to, 32 sellers in a month. And they did the numbers for them. And so they put in their cash goals, how many sellers they have to talk to in a month, how many deals they have to do in a month, and how many price sheets does that equal. So again, if you haven't done it yet, you want to go to the Facebook group and download your workbook. This has a lot of good information in it, and also it'll make you think. It'll make you stop and think as you're filling this out. Well, how much do I want to make a month? Right? Now let's back into those numbers. How many deals per month do I need to do to hit that number? Well, then how many sellers do you need to talk to? How many price sheets have to go out? So you definitely want to print off this workbook. And again, just recapping a little bit from yesterday before we get into today's topics of the 3 types of lease options and lease option assignments is, like I was talking yesterday, Undercover Billionaire. If you haven't started watching this show, I highly recommend doing it to see that how these people act with speed and creativity. They act with speed. Joe, are you still messing with your headset?
I think when I mute myself, I think it times out and it turns off. It's really annoying.
Oh, okay. Because I keep looking down where I can monitor. I'm like, man, Joe's still messing with his headset there. So again, speed and creativity. Joe, let me ask you something. When you were in Scranton or Pennsylvania, and you were looking to move down here, and you say, "Hey, I want to do a deal in Texas before I move down there." Was your thought process? Was it, I guess let me kind of mess around here in Texas. I don't know. Let me dabble in it.
At first I needed a
right, and then then a VA, right, and then it wasn't. I was calling sellers. I think it was FSBO's off of Zillow, and I was just making calls.
Yeah. And it was speed. It's like, let's do this. Speed. Right. Speed, and creativity. As we have dream partners bringing us leads, not everyone is going to be a lease option lead. So that's where you get involved. You get more involved, or I get more involved. Just like this package deal to say, hey, how can we package this up, or how can we put this together? Just like I did this morning, talking to our dream partner Drew about a potential owner finance he has. Yesterday on our every other Monday, we have a group call with all of our dream partners, and last night we talked about some creative financing on a deal for somebody. So again, that's what we're here for. But again, going back to Uncover Billionaire, it's about speed. Work with speed and creativity. Now, this is a saying, for those of you, hopefully everybody saw that Robert Allen video. I actually loaded that video of Robert Allen and I to the Facebook group. This is the quote that Robert Allen was talking about. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, just a little bit of it. He said, this is from William Murray. He was climbing Mount Everest, and he wrote this quote, and it's become incredibly well-known and popular. But it's the truth. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. concerning all acts of initiative and creation. There is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of and Joe, you're going to know this better than Geth's couplets. Geth was back in the Roman day. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Let's just take something simple in life. Today, or let me say back up, last night, Karina and I were trying to simply get a reservation at our favorite restaurant in the world. It's in Sedona, Arizona on September 4th, okay, because there's going to be 6 of us as a special occasion, trying to get a reservation at this restaurant. The restaurant's website literally does not even have a phone number. It does not have a phone number. So it says it is reservation only. You cannot just walk in and get a reservation. So Karina said, "Oh, well, I tried to go through open seating, open door, whatever it's called, open table. And I can only get a table for 2, and John, see what you can do, blah blah." So most people would have said, "Well, they don't even have a phone number." Right. And then you search on Google, finally find a phone number for this restaurant, and you call it, and it's a voicemail saying, you got to make reservations, and you can't do it through us.
Right.
But once I was committed, I know this sounds stupid, but this is just an example, guys. I was committed to get a reservation at this restaurant you have to wait 2 months for a reservation. I was committed. Right before this call, I got a phone call from what they call a concierge there of events at the restaurant, and got a reservation for 6 people at 6:15, and the sun sets at 7:30, I think. Perfect time, perfect table, perfect event. How did I do it? The very first thing I did to get a reservation was I committed. Now, I know Joe's probably dying laughing, but I'm just using this as an example. Joe, you have a Toyota Supra, a 2021 Toyota Supra, do you not?
I do.
What was the first thing you had to do to get that Toyota?
I had to make a decision that I wanted it.
Yep. Because can you just go to a car lot and go buy a 2021 Toyota Supra?
Probably. Not the one I wanted.
That's right. You committed to get that car. And it was a process where they had to build the car in Austria or whatever, right? So it's once you commit, then providence moves. It could be something like getting a Toyota Supra that you have to order. It could be getting a reservation at a restaurant that you can't get, nobody else can get one to it. And it could be about being successful in real estate. In our case, doing lease options or other deals. Once you commit, until one is committed, there's hesitancy. You're going to draw back and go, well, I hit this road bump. There's not a phone number on the website, so I guess we won't eat there, right? So let me ask everybody on this call right now, are you committed? Are you going to dabble, or are you committed? Joe and I were talking yesterday about the mastermind that we had in Florida. And as we were going through the hot seats with everybody, how many people there, as they were talking about their business, it was obvious they were just dabbling. They were not committed. You have got to commit. You cannot dabble. All right? You've got to commit. So I want to ask, is everybody on this call committed? There's Susie. Dave, there's no promo code for VIP. Susie says, speed means success. Slow to make decisions, take action, analysis paralysis. Absolutely. Just do it. Oh, good. Carrie from Carrie's on the boat. Remember Carrie on the boat, Joe? Carrie on the boat. He is committed. He's on a boat. He literally from a boat posted his homework within the group. Christina, awesome. Committed to success, awesome. 1,000%. Becky, yes. John Lomingus, 100. Kenneth Moore, yes, I am committed. I mean, how many people off the East Coast on a boat will do their homework, not just do their homework, but then upload it to the Facebook group, right? I mean, that is commitment, right? And we're gonna work with Carrie down in Houston, and Joe and I are committed to make you successful. And and speaking of committed, before I Patrick says he's multitasking. He's texting sellers right now. Bam, he's committed. He is committed. So again, recap of the day from yesterday. What are your financial targets? If one deal averages $12,000, that means one deal every other month. So maybe you do a deal and then you get lazy and you take 60 days off or 59 days off and you do another deal. If you do a deal every other month, that's $72,000 a year. If you do one deal a month using an average of $12,000, that's $144,000 a year. That's a pretty good income for most people, I would have assumed. I would have assumed doing one deal every other month, that's 6 deals a year, $72,000 a year. I cannot emphasize strong enough how if you commit and you implement what Joe and I are teaching, and especially as dream partners, you've got to be able to do 6 deals a year. I mean, that's just, you'd almost have to fight to not do that. So the question is, what number is going to set you free? Is it 72,000 a year? 144,000 a year, 12,000 a month, 24,000 a month. I don't know. Only you all can answer that. This is a post I saw that I think is so true. That some people think that $100,000 in a year is impossible. Some think that $100K in a month is a bad month. Choose wisely who influences your thoughts. And this is so true. And no matter where you are income-wise, I remember when I thought $50,000 a month in income was, boy, that was some magical, hard to reach number. And now, and I don't say it's a brag or anything, I'm just saying because I've done this for a while. And now $50,000 a month in income, and I'd be scared going, what's wrong? Well, why did we only do that? Right. So again, you've got to choose wisely who influences your thoughts. And again, a recap of the mindset, the 6 words that kill dreams. Yeah, but what if only? Again, this is your conscious brain and your subconscious brain. You can come on here through the Facebook group, through the Masterclass, and get all the training you want through the videos, the content, the books, all this knowledge goes into your conscious brain. But before you take action, that thought, that idea, that decision has to pass by your subconscious brain. And your subconscious brain is there to protect you. It's there for survival. That is your fight or flight part of your brain. But it's going to stamp your decision or your idea with either denied, too scary, or send back, send back to, return to sender, right? I mean, returning back to your conscious brain. Or it may approve it with caution, right? Have you ever seen like approve, but with caution? Well, when you approve it with caution, that means your action is going to stink. You're not going to take true action. And Joe and I can tell you countless times when we've seen students that are taking mediocre action. And Joe, what comes from students that take mediocre action?
Failure.
Because what happens when you don't get the results that you want because you took mediocre action, you go right back into the conscious brain, which means you do what? You go right back to YouTube. Going, oh, you know what? I just need to watch more YouTube videos. That's what it is. Oh, I just need to go read more books. You've got to act so fast that you pass the subconscious brain. Act so that fast with speed, and you're going to get the results that you want. And the thing is, like I said yesterday, successful people take action quickly and they adjust. They adjust to get those results. In order to change, you must get uncomfortable. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Opportunity, and I actually suggest writing this down. Opportunities don't go away. They simply go to someone else. So as we talk about the dream partners even this week, and you have that opportunity to work with Joe and I, well, that opportunity doesn't go away if you pass on it. It goes to someone else. So the question is, who's going to take your seat? Grant Cardone says, who has my money? Who has my money? You have to ask yourself, who has my seat? Who has my seat at the table with the dream partners? and it is on the edge of destiny that you will be tried. Meaning, every time I find myself hitting a wall after wall after wall, it used to be it would get me down. I'd get, down, depressed and sad and frustrated. And I still have it's natural to have a little bit of frustration. That's fine. But I know that on the other side of that wall, the other side of that roadblock is destiny. And I've got to fight through this wall, this comfort zone, to bust through to get to that next level. Joe and I have seen it ourselves in our own business and even in our coaching business, right? When we started off with just a small little tiny, say 8 students, right? And we've built it and grown. We've had to change our coaching to the Dream Partner program, which now is like amazing. And later this week, even tomorrow, I think I'm going to have some video from our last mastermind. But it's on the edge of destiny that you will be tried. I mean, Joe, let's just be a little bit transparent here. How many times in the last few years have you and I gotten frustrated at either the success the students weren't having, or just the way things were working? Right? We've gotten frustrated before, right?
Many times.
But then we go back and we change our action and tweak it to get better results. And I say this: master the process, the outcome will happen. Master the process. I mean, don't worry about that check you're going to get at the end when the transaction closes. Master the processes that Joe and I are teaching you this week on the Masterclass. The outcome will happen. Just like in golf. When a professional golfer, whether it's Jordan Spieth or whoever, they have coaches, they have mentors, they have coaches that are guiding them and helping them learn how to strike that ball. Well, as they're learning how to drive off the tee box, they're not worried about getting it in the hole. They're focused on that, on mastering hitting that driver. That is part of the process. Professional golfers will go out for 4 hours in a day and do absolutely nothing but practice their 9-iron. Excuse me. Practice for 4 hours, the 100-yard shot. That's all they do. They're mastering that process. And that part of the process, you add the process together and you get the ball in the cup in golf. With Lease Options, you match the process that Joe and I teach you, and you get, of course, the payday at the end. So I'm going to get into now the topic of today, which is the 3 different types of lease options and lease option assignments. And before I do that, I'm going to take a drink of water. And Joe, anything you want to add to some of the things I've been saying here? And
I think it's great. Mindset is so important. I'm ready to dive into the details. Let's learn about it.
Let's do it. All right. So again, so many people come to Joe and I for training. They've tried wholesaling before. I don't know how many people on this training have tried to do wholesaling before, or try to do rehabbing before. But everything in real estate seems to have hurdles. It's you need money or credit, or you have to know how to estimate repairs, or you don't have the time to do it, or everybody in your area is doing the same thing. So you've got massive competition. Everybody's a wholesaler, it seems. None of these hurdles exist with lease options at all. You don't need money. You're not buying the house. You're not making payments on it. You're not doing repairs. And nobody out there is doing lease options. Certainly not to the scale that our dream partners are. So what is a lease option? A lease option is simply a contract that gives your company the right to lease purchase a home, right? Simply a contract that gives your company the right to lease purchase a home. But then you have the right to assign your rights to the end buyer. So you're assigning your rights to the end buyer. So with a wholesale deal, you have a contract and you're assigning that to the end buyer. The difference is our end buyer is a family. It's not a cash buyer. It's not an investor. So again, you simply put write the lease option. You simply put the lease option together with the seller. Then you market the property with yard signs, online ads, Facebook ads to buyers who need a little more time to obtain financing. Matter of fact, yesterday we got, that was Jeff. Jeff got an application yesterday from a buyer that he got off of Facebook ads. So again, we're talking about nice houses in nice areas. There's Lisa Vilo. She was my neighbor. She literally knew almost nothing about real estate. And this was the first house she went on. She was taking me to this house, and we went to this house, and she was watching what I was doing, listening to what I was doing, talking on the phone. And she's like, "Oh my God, what you're doing is so easy." I said, "Yeah, I know. It's, because I'm helping people." And she said, "I tried wholesaling before and everybody was yelled at me." and that's the truth. When you're dealing with sellers where you're trying to wholesale houses, the sellers get blown up with calls all the time. So they tend to get mad at you. But with lease options, you're just helping them. And so there we are. There she is standing in front of one of my signs there. But she started closing deals within, she made $22,000 within 60 days. From the time that she went and saw this house, within 6 days, she made $22,000. So let's talk about the lease options and the lease option assignments. So who are these sellers? Who are these sellers that we're working with? Why would they even consider a lease option? Well, the sellers we're working with are simply sellers that are looking for plan B. Maybe they've got their house. Well, Joe, I'll tell you what, tell everybody in your own words, kind of who are the sellers that you work with, typically work with? What's that avatar look like, the sellers that your dream partners typically work with?
The seller, they're not super motivated. They're not desperate. But they still want full price, right? They're kind of in between. We work with sellers who are having kind of a tough time selling, and we match them up with buyers who are having a tough time buying, essentially, right? So they're not overly motivated. They're not desperate either. They're in between.
Yeah, and so because of that, you're simply presenting an option to them, saying, "Hey, I know your house has been, you've been trying to sell it for a little bit. I wish you the best with that. I've got a plan B for it. It's full price, no commission. I can only send you some information about it." That's what we do. So they're just simply looking at plan B. They may have tried to sell via for sale by owner. They may have tried to put on the MLS. They may have even tried to rent it. All right. But nothing's happened yet. And so this is the market, the pool of sellers that Joe and I are working with and that our dream partners work with. This is the largest pool of sellers out there, really. I think far more sellers looking for a plan B than people that have a vacant house, right? So again, what are the options for sellers anyway? Well, they can sell for full price very quickly. That's plan A. They put a sign in the yard and someone comes along and goes, "Oh my God, this is beautiful. Here, let me go to the bank and wire you money." But when that doesn't happen, they may go MLS, hope for the best, or they may rent it out and become a landlord. They become an accidental landlord. Well, what they don't know is plan B, and plan B is actually a lease option for full price and cash flow. This is where you come in. You present them, "Hey, before you go to rent it out or MLS and pay 6%, here's a lease option. And on a $400,000 house, that seller is going to save $24,000 just in commissions alone." But there's a lot of advantages to the seller to do a lease option. They get full price. There's no commission, no negotiating. The people we're working with on the buying side are serious buyers. They typically get the home warranty to cover all the repairs on the property. And we do short-term lease options. The reason for short-term is there's light at the end of the tunnel. The buyer's in the process of getting financed from day one. So again, on a $400,000 house, the seller's going to make about $24,000 more using a lease option. And because the benefits of a lease option, because you are plan B, you absolutely never have to convince a seller. It's totally different than negotiating. So Joe, as an example, when you're talking to a homeowner, and I've heard you at live events, I've heard you talk to countless homeowners. I've never heard you go, "Oh, Mr. Seller, you got to do this. You got to do this." You're not doing that, are you?
No, not at all.
So you're simply presenting them with an option, aren't you?
Correct.
And so when you're teaching our dream partners, Joe, you're explaining to them, "Look, you're not trying to force this, right?"
No, not at all.
So when you're teaching our dream partners how to talk to the sellers, just how are you kind of explaining that to them? How to approach the seller?
Well, you have to approach it as your mindset needs to be one of a doctor, right? Here is my prescription. Okay, does that apply to the illness that you have, right? A lease option may not be the best fit for every seller, right? Sometimes it's not. So I approach them, "Hey, Mr. Seller, noticed your house for sale. It's been listed for a while there. Here's plan B, right? And if it doesn't work, you don't force it down them, for sure. So I just explain, hey, here's what we do. Here are the benefits. Do you think this might be a good fit for you?
Yep. And and something Joe and I think David just said he'd like to see some live calls. So one of the things that Joe and I are known for is our live calls to sellers. People love watching us on the phone because Joe's approach is a little bit different than mine. But at the end of the day, you get to hear us just having a conversation with people. Well, actually, like the seller that just called, right? This investor. When I call him back later, I'm not going to be going, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this. I'm going to go, here's what we do, and see if it's a fit. So something that I think we're going to try to do is we did this on the last masterclass. Is Joe and I are going to do some live calls for you all. Does anybody here want to hear Joe and I do live seller calls? Would that be of any benefit to you all? You think? Put in yes in the chat box if you think so.
I think the answer is yes, John.
Would that be a yes?
I could speak for the audience.
Okay, you can speak. Okay. Then what Joe and I will do is we will post in this Facebook group how to get us your leads, and we will probably, Todd says yes. Oh my God, you said we got about 1,000 hearts just popped up. I don't know if that was for me or just for the idea. Maybe it's for you, Joe. Maybe everybody's hearting you, Joe.
Take a number.
Take a number. Get in line, folks. All right. So, Joe, I will post in the Facebook group how to get us leads, and we'll probably do that Friday. So, Joe, clear your calendar off for noon Friday, and we will do some live calls in. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about how to scale your business on Friday, and we'll do some live calls. So I will post. Andre says yes. All right. So we'll do that Friday. I will post in the Facebook group how to get us your leads and what specifically to do, and we'll call some leads for you. So again, when you're talking to sellers, now Joe said something great. He said, pretend like you're the doctor. Hey, I'm the doctor. How can I help? I like analogies as well. Again, you never have to convince the seller. So here's my analogy because I like food. The sellers want enchiladas, right? They want the rice, the beans, the chicken enchilada, and all that. They put their for sale by owner sign in the yard, and they want enchiladas. Well, I'm not trying to tell them not to get enchiladas. I'm just saying, hey, I know you want enchiladas. I don't see any enchiladas coming. I don't see someone coming along with full price. Joe loves my analogies. He loves my analogies and my graphics. So I don't see any enchiladas coming, seller. I don't see anybody coming. So what do? I go, look, I know you want enchiladas. I have fajitas. I got beef fajitas, chicken fajitas, rice, beans, what you want. I got it all. Now, I'm not forcing the seller to eat my fajitas. I'm just saying I've got them. You can take a look at them, see if you may want them. So what happens? The seller's not getting the enchiladas, and he sees I have fajitas. What happens? When the seller sees there's absolutely no enchiladas coming, nobody's writing him a check or sending a wire for the full price. He goes, well, hey, wait a minute. Show me those fajitas again. Boom. And you know what? I know this works because Joe and I hound on our students about follow up. You see, when the seller wants enchiladas and you go by once and go, hey, I got fajitas, and they don't take the fajitas, okay, great. But when you come back around the second time, a month later, you go, hey, so how are those enchiladas going? Because I still have fajitas. That seller's going to be like, okay, wait, show me those fajitas again, right? And when they see there's enchiladas coming, they love the fajitas.
I think it's reverse, though. I thought fajitas are better. And I'm from the Northeast, but I always thought fajitas were better than enchiladas.
They are. In my opinion, and what I bring to the table is better than what they were going to get with enchiladas.
So they don't know. They don't even know about the fajitas.
They don't know because nobody's told them about the fajitas, Joe. Right?
Now
Nobody's
I get it.
told.
Now
I didn't even know y'all had Mexican food up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I couldn't imagine.
We don't even have cars. We have horse and buggies.
You have horse and buggies up in Scranton, don't you?
Yep.
I couldn't imagine imagine how bad the Mexican food is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm sure it's no comment on that one.
Not great.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people, so what do is you are the superhero. You get to help them by helping sellers that can't sell and buyers that can't buy, right? So you simply show the seller how much more they're going to make with the lease option. You put the contract together, you market it to the end buyer Facebook marketplace, online ads, signs in the yard, just like you saw Lisa standing behind our signs earlier. And you help the seller that can't sell and the buyer that can't buy. Now, inevitably, we have people that want to be the superhero, want to be the doctor, but they say, no, wait a minute, John, I'm scared of sellers. I bet they ask a lot of really tough questions, don't they? Well, they do have one question in particular. And here's an email from a couple years ago, but this email hammers home exactly the most common question. This email is from a seller. It says, hey, John, hope you had a great weekend. See questions below. And I'm going to blow that up so y'all can see it a little bit better here. Hey, John, I hope you had a great weekend. See questions below. Average time frame to locate a client or buyer. What is that seller asking? Average time frame to locate a client buyer. And that's the most common question, by the way. What is that seller asking? That seller is asking, how quickly can you find somebody? So what does that translate to? How fast can you bring the fajitas? Joe, how many times have you talked to sellers and they ask you how soon can you find somebody?
It's common. It's very common.
It is the number one question. How quickly can you find someone? What they're asking you all is, how fast can you bring the fajitas? And here's the sign that I put in the yard of that exact seller. You can see he's got his for sale by owner sign. He was trying to get enchiladas. He got one of our trifle brochures or one of our postcards. He said, and where I said, hey, I know you want enchiladas. I've got fajitas. Maybe you want them, maybe you don't. Let's talk. He said, well, how fast can you bring the fajitas? Boom, baby. And there you see his sign's in the yard, my sign's in the yard. And sellers absolutely love that I'm not competing with them. I'm just saying, let's do this together. So who are these buyers? Well, these buyers are people that want to buy a house, and they've probably owned a house before. Matter of fact, I would say approximately 70%, maybe 75% of the buyers that we work with have actually owned a home before. But now they're in transition phase. They're trying to get moved, but they just need a little bit of time. Now, yes, sometimes we have people that have some credit issues. You'd be shocked at how many people that we work with, that we approve, that have almost no credit issues. It's just that they're self-employed. So we've helped people that were self-employed, that were divorced mom and dads, widows, traveling nurses, executives. We work with a lot of people that are self-employed. When you're self-employed, lenders look at you as, a piece of garbage. We look at you as a potential customer. Joe, wouldn't you say you work with a lot of self-employed people?
Yes. I would say maybe the majority are self-employed, 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, I would say a solid 50% of our buyers are self-employed, for sure. But again, so you're working with people that have good income, and most of them have pretty good credit. It's just they need a little bit of time to get things in place. So again, so what are you doing with a lease option assignment? You're helping a seller that can't sell and a buyer that can't buy. So your typical house is someone that has had done for sale by owner, for rent by owner. Most for rent by owners are people that didn't mean to rent a house. They were trying to sell it, didn't sell. Now they become an accidental landlord. That is great for what we target. And then buyers that need a little bit of time to get financed, right? That's who we work with. So here's the steps to a lease option assignment. You market to the sellers. And Joe and I are going to talk
about. Hey, John, I apologize. I have to tap out here. Mike down in Hawaii needs help with a contract. He's meeting a buyer. So
yeah,
I will.
Mike is, yep. Jump out. Go ahead.
I'll see you guys later.
Hey, tell Mike I said hi, and I want to hear how that deal is going when they're closing on it.
You got it. Thanks.
Okay, bye. So here's the steps to a lease option assignment. So we've got Mike O'Hara, who is in Honolulu, Hawaii, has a condo in Hawaii, and has got the application. It came through leasing to buy. We approved it. They're solid, and now he's getting ready to close that deal. It's a smaller deal. I think it's like $18,000 or $22,000, which I guess that's not that small. But which, by the way, wait a minute. Hawaii is expensive. You can't do deals in Hawaii, John, but it's a condo, John. You can't do deals on condos. Well, here's a condo in Honolulu, Hawaii. and Mike O'Hara is getting ready to close it. Matter of fact, I flew out to Hawaii, to Honolulu 2 months ago, not less than 2 months ago, to meet with Mike. And that is how, a little side note here, that's how committed I am to the Dream Partners. I will fly when our Dream Partners get a deal and you're closing it. I will actually fly out to you and buy you dinner. I've done that many times. So I guess I'm gonna have to go fly back out to Hawaii and, have dinner again on the beach. But so I do actually fly out to wherever my Dream Partners are. And that's how committed I am. But here are the steps to lease option assignment. Market to the sellers. Now, tomorrow and then Thursday, we're going to be diving more into marketing for sellers. How do we market? How many different ways? We're going to talk about 20 different ways to market to sellers tomorrow. And then we're going to talk about some specific ways, even more ways on Thursday. But you market to the sellers, and you simply get their email address. They'll reach out to you. Hey, how does the lease purchase work? And you say, well, let me get your email address. Then you send 2 emails. And the emails, this is what we have all this for our Dream Partners, is you send the 2 emails. How's the lease purchase help? And the seller price sheet, which I'll load the seller price sheet. I'll make a note here to load the seller price sheet for you all. I'm making a note here, load seller price sheet. So I'm going to load the seller price sheet into the Facebook group under files. So you send the seller price sheet. They see it, they review it. Hey, this looks good. You answer any questions. Then you send the contracts. Then you market the property. Signs in the yard, like you saw my signs. Mine have leasing to buy on it. My phone number. Facebook Marketplace, that's free. Zillow, did you know you can actually market properties on Zillow? Absolutely. And then you assign the contract to the buyer. They wire the money to your account. You get the cashier's check. You close the deal. Everybody gets a copy of the contract, and that is it. You've just done a lease option assignment. So I'm going to take a quick look at the questions and et cetera. Let me see here. Okay, so we're getting a lot of response. Everybody wants to hear us do live seller calls, so we'll do that Friday. I'm going to post in the Facebook group on how to get us the leads for the live calls on Friday. Amish fajitas. Oh, Robert Stack. Amish fajitas. I know, right? I can't imagine Mexican food's too good in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Andre Coleman, is the Dream Partner open? Yeah, we'll talk more about the Dream Partners this week, Andre. But yeah, it is. We're opening it up actually on Wednesday. Is it best to use a PO? Okay, Andre saying, is it best to use a PO box for a return mailbox besides my physical address? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all, Andre. Physical address, it really doesn't matter, Andre. Ava, this session is tremendous. Thanks. You bet, Ava. Absolutely. So again, you're going to market to sellers. You're simply providing them with a plan B, right? Hey, Mr. Seller, I know you want I know you want enchiladas. You want full price, no commission. Everything's happy. I don't see any enchiladas coming around here. I have fajitas. All right. Now I'm not forcing these on you. I'm just saying I've got fajitas. Right? When you're in a restaurant and they wheel that dessert cart by, they go, here, we're going to shove this lemon pie down your throat. Or they go, hey, we've got some dessert here. Anybody interested? That's what we do. Hey, I've got fajitas. Maybe you want them, maybe you don't. But then if they don't take the fajitas right off the bat, you put them on your follow-up list and you reach out to them a couple weeks later. Hey, I saw you're still wanting to try to get enchiladas. Hopefully that'll go well. I saw the fajitas, and then boom. And then they'll go, well, okay, tell us more about that. Well, here's how it works. You get full price, no haggling, no commission. Our clients pay us our fee. They get a home warranty. Everything's taken care of. It's very hands-off for you, and you cash flow. Boom, 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 right? Then you send a couple of pre-drafted emails. How's lease purchase help? And the seller price sheet. The seller price sheet I will load into the Facebook group later today. Then you follow up with them. Hey, do you get the numbers? Do you have any questions? Yeah, I was just wondering. And what's the number one question sellers have? The number one question is, how fast can you bring the fajitas? Then you market the property, signs in the yard, Facebook ads, Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, and you assign the contract and collect your money. Then you're out of it. You're out of the equation. So So we've covered a ton of stuff here, and I've got to jump over to the VIP room. Again, tonight, guys, I cannot stress enough how important this week's Coaches Corners are. The Coaches Corner is every night at 6 p.m. Central Time inside this Facebook room. You're going to hear from actual dream partners, okay? Because I think it's one thing to hear myself talk and hear Joe talk. And of course, we're on the Coach's Corner, but it's one thing to hear us talk and Joe talk. But I understand, I get it. When I'm talking about how to do these deals, it may seem ethereal to you. Does that make sense? Like not tangible. It seems ethereal. Well, let's bring on some dream partners, some students who are doing deals, and let's talk to them about, okay, Esther, now this deal you did in Irving, now let's start with the marketing. How did you market to find this house? Okay. Now, when the seller called you, how did that conversation go? Right. And then I take you all the way to the closing so that, so you can see somebody besides myself. Oh, I see how they did this. Well, yeah. Well, now, okay, yeah, I can do that. Okay, Jeff, let's talk about this. Now, Jeff, you just came on board. Let's talk about the marketing you're doing so you can hear from other people's perspectives. So again, tonight, 6 p.m. Central Time, please mark this down. The hearing from other people, from the actual students that are doing the deals, this is magical opportunity for you, okay? Now, tomorrow at noon Central, we're going to be right here in the Facebook group, 20 ways to market to sellers. We're going to be covering, it's going to be like a Gatling gun, if you know what that is. Rapid fire gun, 20 ways to market to sellers. All right. Then today, later today and tomorrow, I'll post in the Facebook group on how to get us your leads to call. All right. I'm going to tell you specifically how to get us your leads to call on Friday, and we'll do live seller calls. All right. I did not have this on the agenda this time. All right. I didn't have it on the agenda, but you all beat me down. You've beat me down and beat me down to where we're going to talk to sellers live this Friday. So you want to be on there, okay? All right, so 6 p.m. tonight, be right here. We're going to hear from actual dream partners. And let me see here. Do you teach the Facebook Marketplace process? Yeah, actually, Andre, I've got an entire, well, I shouldn't say entire. I actually have a training I did on marketing on Facebook Marketplace. And we actually teach that to our dream partners as well. Rob Johnson. Okay, great question. So Rob must be in Texas. He's saying, how do you lease option in Texas? Okay, I'll spend 60 seconds on this, then I've got to get to the VIP room. Lease options are totally viable in Texas. That's what I do mainly, is lease options in Texas. In 2005, laws were drafted to change how, change lease options. So I do 1-year lease options. If your lease option in Texas is over 6 months in length, it's over 180 days long, then it's an executory contract. There are certain disclosures you must have and that you must give to the buyer. Your contracts also must have certain verbiage in them. Our contracts have all the verbiage. We have the disclosures in our contracts. So we disclose the mortgage information. The buyer can check and make sure the mortgage payments are being made as well. And we have specific verbiage in our contracts. What you cannot do in Texas is you cannot do a sandwich lease option. All right. You cannot do a sandwich lease option in Texas, which is fine. I don't recommend anybody doing a sandwich lease option until you have probably 6 to 8 assignments under your belt. But again, you can definitely do lease options in Texas, but you have to have the very specific documents. I've spent over $30,000, that is no lie, on my documents, on my contracts in Texas, or on my contracts and my Texas contracts. All right. That's why you will never see my documents for free. I do not give my documents away for free. But yeah, so you have to have specific verbiage and specific disclosures, the mortgage disclosure in the documents for Texas. Do we have to sign up for tonight? No, there's nothing to sign up for tonight for this Coach's Corner. You literally just come right back here inside this Facebook group at 6 p.m. Central. All righty. And let me see if you're watching. Yeah, Carrie. Yeah, you can go to free for PropStream. Someone's asking about PropStream. For PropStream, you can literally go to free PropStream. I'm going to try to put it in here. Free prop stream.com. You can go to freepropstream.com, check it out, see what you think about it. And if you like it, then I think it's 2 weeks later that you can get signed up for them. Yeah, so I do lease options that are 1 year. I do 1 year not because of Texas. That's just what I do. But in Texas, you don't want to go over 3 years with a lease option in Texas because then it becomes a contract for deed. Okay. Let me see here. So James is saying this may be pushing it, but do you have something specific we can get to email? How's lease purchase help? So I have a document that I send the sellers that my dream partner sent, which I'd be happy to share because it has my information all over it and my logo and my company information. So you don't want to be sending that because they'd be calling me, right? And it'd have my logo and my company name all over it. But it's simply breaking down how does lease purchase help, the challenges the seller sees, challenges buyer sees, and how we solve both those problems. Let me see here. I think I've got to get running here too. What happens after 1 year? Well, if you don't buy within a year, then the owner can extend the contract, or if they want to. It's very, 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 very rare that the buyer doesn't buy the property within 12 months because we're pushing them. As soon as they get in the property with us, we're handing them over to the loan officers to start that process of getting financed. That's why our success rate with leasing a buy, our success rate is over 97% of our buyers get financed within 12 months. All right, guys, everybody that's VIP, I don't know who all, we got 70 people on here. I don't know who all is VIP on here. If you're VIP, give me 30 seconds. I'm going to hop over to Zoom to the VIP room. All right, you all should have the link. If you're VIP, we're going to cover a lot of Q&A. I can go through and analyze deals that you may have. So let's jump over to all you VIP people. Let's jump over to Zoom. Whew, all right, and guys, I'll see you tonight inside this Facebook group, 6 p.m. You do not want to miss this. You get to ask real students real questions, hear how they got the seller, how do they do the marketing, how they set the numbers, how they find the buyer, how they close the deal, all right? All right, guys, we'll see you tonight, 6 p.m. Right here, you get to hear from actual dream partners. All right, I'm going to close this out. All right, guys, take care, everybody. See you at 6 p.m. tonight, VIP. I'll see you in 30 seconds.